We all know that marriage takes hard work and commitment. If one of you isn't playing ball, there's only one place you'll end up: divorce. The trouble is, divorce can get very messy. From public spats, claims of harassment, and even smashing up your partner's car, the divorce of Shaquille and Shaunie O'Neal is a very good lesson in how not to do a relationship. Are you ready? Let's start at the beginning. On paper, Shaq and Shaunie look like the perfect Hollywood couple. Shaq, the superstar American basketball player turned TV pundit, and Shaunie, the TV star, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. What could be better? Well, they certainly seemed like a good match when they first met. Despite Shaq being in a previous relationship with a woman called Arnetta Yarbrough, whom he already had a daughter with, and Shaunie already mothering a son with her previous partner, they both decided they liked each other enough to make a go of it. Now, we should say there are no details as to where they both met, when it was, or what happened on their first date. All we can say is that it was just 3 years later, in 1997, Shaq decided he wanted to put a ring on it and propose to Shaunie. A quick trip to the antenatal clinic for the birth of their children, Sharif in 2000 and Amira in 2001, and they were all set for their special day. And what a wedding it was! They both tied the knot on December 26, 2002 at the Beverly Hills Hotel. The venue was laden with lavender roses, ready for the king of basketball to marry his queen, who, at this point, was pregnant with their third child, Shaquille, who would be born in 2003. Clearly a couple with high aspirations in life, Shaq's vows read, "For richer or for richer." Shaunie's wedding dress was dusted in Swarovski crystals, and celebrity guests included the likes of Vanessa Williams, Vivica A. Fox, and members of the Los Angeles Lakers. To say it was a glamorous affair would be an understatement. So, where did it all go wrong? After all, they were supposed to be the perfect couple. Well, perhaps it was the stresses and strains of parenting 6 children between them. Yes, that's right. In 2006, they had another child called Miera. Or perhaps they just weren't meant for each other. After all, who knows? But in September 2007, Shaq filed for divorce from Shaunie in a Miami-Dade circuit court. There were rumors that they'd changed their minds and that they decided to give it another go. But in November 2009, it was Shaunie who filed for another divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. Later, Shaq would explain these irreconcilable differences were, yes, you guessed it, infidelity. Later, he would admit that at one time they were happy together, but in his words, he was a guy with too many options. Choosing to be with some of those women, well, that's on me, he continued. In my mind, I never did it disrespectfully, but obviously, I shouldn't have done it at all.
I never talked about this, and I'm glad you guys are asking because I don't mind talking about that. But I was bad. She was awesome. She really was. It was all me. I was just look. We don't need to talk about what I was doing, but I wasn't protecting her and protecting those vows.
Anyway, more on Shaq's admission a little later on. Let's get back to the divorce, which was messy, to say the least. There probably isn't such a thing as an easy divorce, but nobody wants a public spat for the whole world to see. Sadly, for Shaq and Shaunie, this is exactly what played out. First up, Shaunie hired private investigators to detail her husband's whereabouts and who he had been with. They discovered Shaq had been texting his mistress, Vanessa Lopez, who would herself go on to try to sue him for harassing her after their affair. Vanessa filed her lawsuit in 2010, claiming that they were seeing each other for 5 years. Apparently, once she broke up with him, he launched a campaign to harass her so bad that she feared for her safety. The case did get thrown out by the judge on account of several lies she told in the courtroom, and her own lawyers deserted her, which raises a massive red flag. But it didn't help Shaq's relationship with Shaunie at all.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? You still emailing?
Yeah, and I have the press, all over me. I had to hire an attorney.
What's the meaning of the press all over?
TMZ, everybody. 3 people have called me.
Call you and say what?
That they want my story. I mean, they knew like details that nobody else knew.
During an episode of Basketball Wives, Shaunie admitted that things got so messy that she ended up destroying Shaq's car in a fit of rage. She said, "Our Blackberries got switched. I went to my baby's play at school, and I was like, damn, my phone is going off a lot. Just girl after girl after girl. Like, baby, last night what you did?" She was so outraged that she went into the garage to flatten his tires, break a few windows, and write on the hood of Shaq's car, "I cheat on my wife. I ain't shit," with a sharp knife. Shaunie would later tell TMZ that she thought Miami, where they lived together, was a great city, but it wasn't great for their marriage. Even going to the games, the whole environment is so different. Girls are practically sitting in their bra and panties in the arena. When you're trying to keep your husband, that's a lot to take. Apparently, we didn't have a strong enough foundation for Shaq to withstand that type of temptation. We should point out, of course, that Shaunie herself was not void of accusations of infidelity. She, too, was accused of cheating on Shaq with her personal trainer. When confronted, she explained, "I worked out at home with my trainer, my sister, her husband, and my girlfriend. I was a good girl. I wouldn't even entertain a man flirting with me. I was that conservative. But when those rumors came out, I felt so small, and Shaq was so big that it didn't matter what I said." Anyway, back to their divorce. In their papers, Shaq claimed his marriage to Shaunie was irretrievably broken, whilst accusing her of being shady with his cash. He said that she had been secretive about her assets and that he wanted the court to order a full investigation into every single penny she came into whilst they were together. He also noted that he made Shaunie sign a prenup agreement protecting his assets before they married, and that he wanted the kids to live with Shaunie, with him receiving liberal rights of visitation. When you take into consideration Shaq's massive $400 million net worth at the time, the outcome of the divorce for him could have been very bad indeed. Luckily for him, though, the prenup before the marriage protected him. That said, he did give up half of his fortune to Shaunie and an extra $100,000 a month in child support. Shaunie was granted custody of their kids, and Shaq's attorney even wrote a letter to VH1 to prevent Shaunie from discussing their marriage on her show Basketball Wives. Despite the anger and bitter way they parted, they did grow closer, and both seem to be on good terms these days. According to People, they continued to FaceTime each other regularly and help each other out in the best way they could. Shaunie explained that, "I think we both support each other. I used to tease him and be like, could you please hurry up and get a wife, and then you could stop randomly FaceTiming me and talking about your day." In later years, Shaq would go on to take accountability for the divorce, saying it was all on him as he wasn't protecting her. In an appearance on the Pivot podcast, he expressed how awesome Shaunie was and that he did not protect those vows of the marriage. "I wasn't protecting her. Sometimes when you live that double life, you get caught up. I'm not going to say it was her. It was all me," he said. He went on to applaud her for the work she did to help their family and admitted that he made a lot of mistakes. "She did exactly what she was supposed to do and gave me beautiful kids, take care of the house, take care of the corporate stuff," he added. Well, you know what they say, there's plenty more fish in the sea. For Shaunie, it seems her love story doesn't end here. It wouldn't be long before she would be romantically linked to another man, this time in the form of Pastor Keon Robinson. The couple knew each other on a professional level before progressing to dating in February 2020. In November 2021, the couple got engaged. Speaking to People, Shaunie described him as an extraordinary man. She said she wouldn't change a single thing. "As a matter of fact, I wish I could experience it over and over again." Keon is an extraordinary man of God. He's wise, he's supportive, he's so loving and attentive. He loves me and my children in a way that has changed my life and my heart. This love is forever, and I'm honored and overjoyed to do forever with him. Shaq also found love after Shaunie, although not married, after a string of dating rumors with various women. He was dating celebrity and TV personality Annie Alonzi in early 2002. On hearing of Shaunie and Keon's engagement, he commented, "She's happy now. She's about to marry a fine young gentleman, and I'm happy for her. We couldn't have said it better ourselves." The marriage and divorce of Shaq and Shaunie is proof you never can tell how a relationship will end up. What seemed like the dream couple all those years ago ended up in a heated public debate of infidelity, prenups, and vandalism. That said, we're so glad that they are each finding their new paths in life and have decided to do it while still giving each other the support they deserve. See you next time.